Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining our webinar today. I'm Alex Molosky, and on behalf of Mirimichi Green, we want to thank you for joining us. Because we have lots of folks on the call, we're going to ask you to keep your microphone off and type any comments or questions you have into the Zoom chat feature. At the end of the session, we'll do our best to answer as many questions as possible. First, I'll do a brief introduction of today's webinar, Mirimichi Green, and today's host and co-hosts. Next slide, please. As you should know, today's webinar will address professional pest control for landscapes. In this webinar, we'll look at the benefits of Mirimichi Green's all-natural pest control, how it compares to traditional pesticides and other natural pest control products on the market, and we'll review test data and application information. Next slide, please. At Mirimichi Green, we offer products that improve plant health while reducing the long-term costs of landscapers and property managers. We strive to manufacture products for all aspects of landscape management. We offer pesticides, natural fertilizers, soil amendments, and our expertise. Next, please. Our products are used by professionals from landscaping, sports fields, golf courses, equestrian courses, parks and rec, and of course, all yards across America. You may notice some notable logos here, and we hope to add yours to the list. Next, please. Next again. Today's webinar is presented by John Tomiski. Co-hosting is Kyle Held, our marketing partner, and myself, Alex Molosky, and I'm the director of marketing at Mirimichi Green. We're more here for technical support, so thank you again for joining us during your busy workday. And without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to John Tomiski, our expert on pest control, so he can introduce himself.
Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome and thank you for dialing into our webinar today. My name is John Tomiski, and I'm the territory manager for the Northeast in Florida. There's a QR code over here to the right if anyone wants to scan it and save my contact information to your phone. By the end of our time today, my goal is to help you all feel more comfortable and confident about Mirimichi Green Pest Control. And like Alex mentioned, there'll be an opportunity to ask questions at the end. So I encourage you to bring any inquiries to the table, and I'll answer those to the best of my ability. So we'll get started here. So Mirimichi Green Pest Control, it's a FIFRA 25B exempt product that works as an adult side, pheromone interrupter, deterrent, repellent, and it kills. It kills at all stages of the life cycle. So by killing the larvae, egg cycles are disrupted, so future outbreaks of pests are eradicated in the tested areas over time. We also have a niche ingredient in there, which is carbon, and carbon helps facilitate ground penetration and activates ingredients to implode the pest. It's also known to be safe around people, pets, and plants when used as directed, and is an immediate re-entry time as soon as the spray is settled. So there's no offensive odor to the Mirimichi Green Pest Control. It has a mild citrus scent that homeowners and applicators appreciate. Many customers actually have informed me that one of the reasons they prefer it is because the scent doesn't stay on them like other products normally would. And I should say it provides protection for 14 to 28 days as well, which we'll get to. Folks will often ask what FIFRA 25B exempt means. So chemical products containing active and inert ingredients considered minimum risk are registered under Section 25B of FIFRA. Because the EPA has determined that certain minimum risk pesticides pose little to no risk to human health or the environment, the EPA has exempted them from the requirement that they can be EPA registered. So professionals can use this highly effective product to control an assortment of insects in a safer, greener way. And I will note, with it being a FIFRA 25B product, you don't need a special license to apply. So our product controls a wide range of targeted pests listed on the screen here. It works great on ticks and mosquitoes, We have some studies to show you further in the presentation. It's also effective on ants, roaches, no-see-ums, chinch bugs, white flies, aphids, and also fleas. Here's some of the key benefits. It's made from natural ingredients, which we'll hit on. The product is not a neurotoxin. However, it does have the same results as a neurotoxin. So it has a kill feature to it. It's okay to spray around people, pets, and plants. It kills pests and larvae on contact. And this is for all stages of the life cycle. Bugs do not become immune to this product because it has 3 essential oils, minimizing the chances of resistance. So those 3 essential oils are lemongrass oil, cedarwood oil, and castor oil. So we're attacking the pest with 3 oils. So again, they don't build up as much of a resistance. There's immediate reentry time after drying. Rainfall does not affect the efficacy of the product. And you can see results after an hour of application. So benefits of natural ingredients. Here's some of the ingredients that are in our pest control, the guaranteed analysis. Lemongrass oil, geraniol, sodium lauryl sulfate, castor oil, cedarwood oil, and then the inert ingredients are soap, water, monolaurin, oleic acid, and carbon. I'll explain the role that each ingredient plays in an upcoming slide because each one plays a vital role. So natural pest control options offer several benefits over traditional chemical pest control methods. One being it's safer for humans and animals. So it being non-toxic is extremely important to a lot of people when deciding how they want to control the pests on their property. It's environmentally friendly, sustainable. Most importantly, it's effective. So organic pest control methods are just as effective as chemical methods. Organic options focus on preventing pest infestations from occurring in the first place. And they're affordable as well. So all natural pest controls involve a combination of preventive measures which reduce the need for costly chemical treatments. Matter of fact, this past year, I had a customer tell me that he had less callbacks using our pest control versus the properties where he used synthetic pest controls. And then here are the ingredients, and I'll kind of break down how each one works. So castor oil is definitely the most important ingredient. It's an emulsifier for the other actives, so it basically holds everything together. It disrupts the cell membrane, leading to suffocation of target, and it kills through the respiratory system. So the castor oil works as far as the kill feature. Geraniol exhibits insecticidal and repellent properties. It also works as a surfactant. Lemongrass oil, this is the scent that you'll smell. Like I said, it's got that mild citrus scent to it, and this will inhibit the development of pests. And then cedarwood oil acts as a repellent and a natural surfactant. Sodium lauryl sulfate, it acts as an emulsifier and also employs a non-toxic mode of action in controlling mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks. And then lastly, oleic acid, which is a really cool feature. So it's an inert ingredient, but most insects emit oleic acid upon death. So having this ingredient in the formula, it signals a colony collapse to the pest, which makes it a pheromone interrupter and a deterrent. And then this slide compares, so our Mirimichi Green pest control versus other organic pest controls, and then also traditional pest controls like various synthetic products out there. So our Mirimichi Green pest control, you've already heard me say it, but it has 3 essential oils in there: the seaweed oil, castor oil, and lemongrass oil. It's all natural. It uses 3 modes of action. It kills, repels, and it's a pheromone interrupter. And efficacy test shows that it's immediate kill rate. It's rain resistant. It's safe to spray on and around all outdoor furniture and home areas. And again, it contains liquid carbon, which helps implode the pest. So if you look to the right in the other columns, you can see where the other pest controls fall short. One thing to point out is that traditional pest control, it works great for killing the insect, but not as a repellent or a pheromone interrupter. So that's definitely the advantage our Mirimichi Green pest control has over traditional pest controls and some of the organic pest controls. And there, I will say too, there are environmental conditions that controls and cannot predict. However, I can say you will be putting your best foot forward in controlling the pest population at your given property using Mirimichi Green pest control. And then we're going to get into some university test data. Mirimichi Green pest control's effectiveness was tested by standards set by the World Health Organization at CTOX lab. The efficacy test revealed an 80% kill rate for pests and larvae in a 24-hour period. Efficacy on ticks and mosquito populations have been tested at Mississippi State University, proving total control, repel, deter, and eliminate within hours. Other targeted pests have been tested in controlled test plots and environments. And then we will get to the results here, or how the test was conducted. So basically, there's a lot to digest here, but this is the Mississippi State University trial. It was conducted, so 2 tests on the yellow fever mosquito were conducted over a 4-week period. 5 products were tested: the Essentia IC3, American Hydro Nature Shield, Mosquito Free, which is a cedarcide, our Mirimichi Green pest control, and a bifenthrin product that is one of the synthetic products. All products were used at recommended label rates. And again, there were 2 trials conducted. So the first one was a repel test, and the second one was a kill test. So on this next slide, we'll show you the results from both the repel and the kill test. So this is a pretty telling study. So trial 1 here, Mirimichi Green pest control is product 4, where it's highlighted. You can see our pest control led in control and residual after every week in the duration of the 4-week trial. Essentia IC3, which is product 1 here, was the next closest, but Mirimichi Green pest control still held the same control at 4 weeks that IC3 had at 2 weeks. So at 4 weeks, our product repelled 15 out of the 25 mosquitoes, and then at 2 weeks, Essentia IC3 had the same results after 2 weeks, and we still held our ground after 4. And then, as you can see too, and come week 3, the repellent aspect really fell off with the other products used in this study. Mirimichi Green pest control still, had some really good control after all 4 weeks. And then I will note too, bifenthrin, which is the 5th product over here, it was only useful as a kill product. And I think I referred to that earlier. It doesn't have any repel features. And then onto the second study here. This was a kill test. So as expected, bifenthrin was the most effective for kill. but Mirimichi Green Pest Control held its own and was not too far behind. The other three pest controls weren't really in the same ballpark as far as a kill rate. Matter of fact, in week 2, we still killed the same amount of our product, Mirimichi Green Pest Control, still killed the same amount of mosquitoes as bifenthrin did week 2. So it just goes to show you that, you know, not only is our product a repellent and a deterrent, but it also has a significant kill rate. Here's another study done. This was another kill study. So it was the effects of 8 ounces per gallon of Mirimichi Green Pest Control on populations of mosquitoes and insect nets over a 24-hour period. The results are pretty self-explanatory and quite impressive. Basically, what this is showing, after just 1 hour, the mosquito population were completely killed. There are not many organic options that have an immediate kill rate like ours does. And then this was the same type of test that was conducted, another kill test that involved insect nets. But it involved 2 types of tick species, and I'm not going to even begin to pronounce those tick species, but there was 2 of them. So at the effects of 8 ounces of Mirimichi Green Pest Control per gallon, and it was applied to insect nets in a greenhouse controlled environment. And after 1 hour, 75% of the ticks were killed. After 2 hours, around 90% of the tick population was killed, and close to 100% after 24 hours. So not only is our pest control effective on mosquitoes, but it is quite effective on ticks and other pests. So now we'll get into application and rates. So obviously you're able to apply pest control out of different types of equipment. And they're listed here on the screen. Usually we suggest 4 to 8 ounces per gallon of water. And I usually suggest a lighter rate to start the season. So 4 to 6 ounces to start the season, you know, when the pests aren't fully emerged. And then you want to kind of zap them at the 8 ounce rate during the prime time of the season when the season's in full swing. And then you can dial that back down to 4 to 6 ounces towards the tail end of the season. Each type of equipment has different coverage, as you can see. I have a lot of customers that use the steel backpack sprayer and fogger, which I have some pictures to show you. And I will note too, once you have the initial infestation rate taken care of, you really only have to reapply every 3 to 4 weeks. So there are several size options available for our pest control, including a 1 gallon jug, 2.5 gallon jug. We also have a 30 and 55 gallon drum. And then there's a 275 gallon tote. Obviously, based on your business, the large size options may be more beneficial and convenient. So here's one way to apply pest control. This is a steel backpack fogger sprayer. A lot of professionals will use this type of equipment to spray. It's a 3.7 gallon tank and it delivers a large spraying range. I will note too, it's important to spray the perimeter of the property you're treating, like wooded areas, foundation of a house or building you're treating, shrubs, points of entry, and even any piles of, say, you know, grass clippings where pests may thrive in. This is a quick video of a professional applying Mirimichi Green Pest Control to some tree foliage. And this is the steel backpack sprayer I was referring to. Again, another way you can apply pest control. This is a video of a tank sprayer applying Mirimichi Green pest control to some more foliage. And then lastly, a video of an applicator. He's applying the perimeter of the property using a steel backpack fogger. And then we're going to leave room for questions here after this, but we figured we'd create a slide for frequently asked questions that we get from the field. The first one being, how long do I need to wait before letting people and animals re-enter the treated area? You know, we always suggest always let the product completely dry before letting people re-enter the treated area. Can Mirimichi Green pest control be used indoors? No, it's only intended for outdoor use. We do suggest to use PPE equipment, so personal protective equipment, even though it's an all-natural organic product. We recommend glasses or a mask or anything like that to prevent direct eye contact. And does Mirimichi Green pest control harm pollinators? So it will not harm pollinators if they enter the landscape that has been treated. However, we do not suggest for the pollinators and hives should never be sprayed directly with the product. And what does Mirimichi Green pest control smell like? Again, it has that mild citrus scent to it. So it doesn't smell like any harsh pesticides or anything like that. And lastly, can Mirimichi Green pest control be used on vegetables and gardens? We do not advise using this on anything edible due to certain oils in the formula. So here is we're going to open it up for questions if anyone may have any.
We've got one from the chat. Again, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll do our best to answer them. From Ron Henry, he asked, would there be any value in mixing our pest control with bifenthrin?
Sorry, ask that one more time, Alex.
Yeah, he asked, would there be any value in adding our pest control in the tank with bifenthrin? No,
not at all. Actually, it definitely can be a tank partner with not only other synthetic products like bifenthrin, but it also can be mixed with other organic products. Matter of fact, I have a lot of customers that, will mix bifenthrin with our product, depending on what their program looks like. But yeah, there's no issue at all mixing it with bifenthrin.
Why would they do that, John? Is it cost control? Is it it improves the time in between treatments? What's the thinking behind the folks that are cutting an organic with a synthetic like that?
Sure. Obviously, our Mirimichi Green pest control has a kill rate. However, like I showed on one of the slides, bifenthrin definitely works a little bit better as far as killing the insect. We're not too far behind, but I think they'll just get a little bit more control as far as killing the insect. That's probably the only reason why customers do that. But I do have customers that solely just, they'll have a synthetic program for their customer base, or they'll have an organic program. But the customers that do kind of mix our product with, say, a bifen product, it's because they just, they don't have necessarily a customer that's asking for either one. They just have a general pest control program.
Great. Another question is, can you add the Mirimichi Green pest control with liquid fertilizer or biostimulant applications?
Let me look into that. I don't think I'd recommend that. At least I haven't dealt with that in the past as far as customers doing it that way, but that might be a question that I can reach out to our formulator, Neil Teven, He's a great resource. So Alex, if you could keep that question available and maybe get that person's contact information, I can follow back up with them after this call. I don't know 100% the answer to that, but I definitely want to find out the right answer.
Yeah, we'll include that answer when we send out the recording of this webinar.
Okay.
Another question is, so when advising customers on application, every 3 weeks should do the job at keeping targeted insects at bay, correct?
Yes, we suggest every 2 to 4 weeks. I think 3 weeks is a pretty solid pretty solid place to start. You know, again, during it depends on environmental conditions too. If, you know, as we're approaching the prime time of the season and it's hot, humid out, you know, say there was it rained the day before, pests are usually more active. So, you know, depending on the environmental conditions, what time of the year it is, sometimes it may require, you know, every 2 weeks. You know, at the beginning of the season, you can probably get some solid control at the 3 to 4 week period, but you know, it all depends on conditions. But I think 3 weeks is a good place to start.
Alrighty, does anybody have any other questions?
Ron Henry wrote in that he's used it and had a neighbor with white flies eating his plants, and the product took care of it. Thanks for that comment, Ron. Another person wrote in, and obviously you guys have noticed that there was some issue with the registration, and about 4 of you are named Alex Malosky. So thanks for bearing with us, but appreciate the feedback there in the chat. Those of you writing in. What information would you? Yeah, the slides. We'll be sending out the slides along with the recording of this video, and then Ron's asking particularly about the studies. Yeah, that'll all be included. Those tables are pretty dense, and obviously it's helpful to be able to blow them up and kind of study them a little bit more closely. Was there anything that you expected us to cover today that we didn't? Unrelated to Mirimichi Green pest control? Questions about the pest control more broadly? Be happy to hear any of that feedback at this time.
Kyle, maybe we can share with Ron the whole study itself, you know, kind of the breakdown of you know, what the study actually conducted and everything. You know, I know we kind of did more of a Spark Notes version of it, but we can definitely share that whole study with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we should make that available on the website as well, since there seems to be interest.
All right, well, if there's no more questions, thank you again for joining us, and we'll end this webinar. Have a great day.
Thanks all.